So I want to say shout out to Scott Schaefer. I've been watching him for years, back when he used to be the Crypto Jedi, right? And he found this out, so I got to give him props. But Creators Agency, right? This is an agency where you have different creators. Now, who do you see here? Graham Stephan, right? He's one of the creators that was pushing the FTX thing. Who do you see here? Meet Kevin. Spencer Cornelia. What? White boy Spencer, yes. Spencer Cornelia, yes. Well, as you guys know, CoffeeZilla, salute him. I've talked about him before. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, right? Is actually going against white boy Spencer, okay? That's Mr. Organic's name for Spencer Cornelia. And I watch him too, right? And right now they're having a little bit of a back and forth where CoffeeZilla called out the conglomerate of YouTubers, financial YouTubers, and then CoffeeZilla kind of, well, he actually did defend them, which was surprising because typically CoffeeZilla calls out frauds, scammers, and influencers and such. So a lot of people were shocked that Spencer Cornelia, excuse me, not Coffee, that Spencer Cornelia defended him, not CoffeeZilla. And we're going to get into that here in a moment because this rabbit hole gets deep. So let's get straight into it. So CoffeeZilla, as you guys know, he's a trendsetter in the YouTube space. Like I said, I enjoy his content a lot. He exposed the heck out of SafeMoon, right? And you guys know, let's keep it a buck. I got into SafeMoon in March, but by the grace of God, April 2021, I got out because after I saw that Miami video, I had to get out. You know what I'm saying? But CoffeeZilla basically is going through the whole FTX situation. For those who are not aware, you should be. But, you know, FTX is a cryptocurrency exchange where the CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, got caught robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? They were misappropriating funds and using customer funds to do high risky leverage trading, including their hedge fund, Alameda Research, which not surprisingly was headed, or the CEO of Alameda is Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend. And so they were misappropriating funds, basically using customers' funds to do high leverage trading, robbing Peter to pay Paul, all that stuff, right? And come to find out, there were a bunch of YouTubers that were promoting FTX, right? They were promoting it heavy, and CoffeeZilla calls that out. And basically, you know, CoffeeZilla is saying that you should not be taking financial advice from YouTubers and that it should be entertainment at best. And you know what? To a point, I definitely agree with that. You know, I don't look at it as what I do as financial advice. You guys know I always say this is not financial advice. I look at what I do as infotainment. You know what I'm saying? So what is infotainment? Infotainment is where I give you information, but in an entertaining way, right? So for my channel, and the reason I point that out is because we got to clarify what I do over here. I started doing PowerPoints back in 2017, and then I started doing them more consistently in 2021 because I realized to the people that I'm speaking primarily with, right? Minorities, people of low income, right? And that's no shade at nobody, but I know my audience, right? We don't even understand the basics terminology of a lot of these things when we talk about crypto. So what I do is I take a informative educational approach where basically I do PowerPoints to break things down on a basic level. Now, for some people who remember, when I first started this channel, it was originally called Crypto for Dummies, right? And then number one, let's be honest, the for dummies thing is a trademark, so I'm not trying to get sued. And number two, after much thinking about it, I felt like it was kind of demeaning to my audience, right? But I take a very educational approach, but and also entertaining, right? Infotainment approach to how I present my information. Now, this is a video, guys, that I did 7 days ago talking about cryptocurrency scams, right? And we're going to get into why I talked about this. And then here's a live stream that I did with a CPA about a year ago, right? Yeah, this was about a year ago. with CPA. Shout out to Brianna Jones. And we talked about best crypto-friendly places to move. And yes, she is a certified CPA. And then also we did another live stream. So for me personally, it's very important to give people information that is based on reality, not just hopium, right? That you have a lot of crypto YouTubers that they'll just talk about a coin pumping and all of that. And don't get me wrong, we all want a coin to pump. However, I also want to talk about tokenomics, fundamentals, usage, utility, and also something that I think is highly undervalued in this space is the technology or the future technology expansion of blockchain, right? And how it's going to affect our lives as a whole, not just with currency, but also in the medical field, among other things. I mean, the future of it, I don't think it's talked about enough, how blockchain is going to impact how not just we do commerce, but how it's going to affect our daily life, day-to-day living, period, you know? And that's very exciting to me, okay? So what does this have to do with CoffeeZilla? Well, he brings up an interesting point. As I said, that YouTubers that are given this information aren't qualified. Okay, I'll give him that. And then another thing is that he mentions is a lot of these YouTubers are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions to push FTX. And a lot of these guys didn't really do their due diligence, but thought, hey, this guy's a billionaire who drives a beat up car and he seems trustworthy, right? They didn't do their due diligence. And then on the other side, Coffee says, on the flip side, that, you know what? In the YouTuber's defense, even BlackRock got it wrong, and Kevin O'Leary, right? Kevin O'Leary, he's part of the Shark Tank. He's a business guy, very well known, right? And I thought to myself, you know what? You're right. You're right. And whatnot, because you look at the BlackRock got it wrong. Numerous venture capitalist investors got it wrong. Even Kevin O'Leary, who's renowned, known for, Shark Tank, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, right? He got it wrong too, right? And even FTX had auditing companies. How did they miss it, right? And so then you go over to what Spencer says, and Spencer basically says that, you know what? Since BlackRock and these other companies got it wrong, do we really expect YouTubers to get it right? And, I agree with that. Why? Because BlackRock and Kevin O'Leary have, resources and access to these resources that the average YouTuber doesn't, right? And what I mean by that is that BlackRock, they may be able to look at the books, right? And whatnot. Now, I don't know the... especially since they were associated business-wise, you know what I mean? So Spencer Cornelia, basically, his strong argument was that, FTX had various auditors, along with the BlackRock argument, and they got it wrong. So how do you expect YouTubers to get it right? And I agree with Spencer, just like Coffee made that argument. I agree with Spencer on that. You know what I'm saying? The YouTubers, they made a lot of money on this. But you know what? Coffee responded, and he basically says you can't compare financial influencers to Tom Brady being sponsored by FTX. Financial influencers are claiming expertise. Tom Brady is not. Okay? So Coffee brings up a fair point. And then the point is, what makes somebody a financial expert, right? Me personally, I always tell you guys, I'm not a financial guru, this and that. I just talk about crypto, right? And the reason I do that is, number one, because for me, I've always said, guys, for me, who qualifies as an expert, and that is somebody like Brianna Jones, who I interviewed, right? Somebody who's got a degree in this field, who's educated, right? Now, obviously, in the crypto space, it gets iffy because this space is so brand new. There's nobody really. I don't know if there's a crypto degree, a college degree for being a cryptographer. There's a cryptography degree, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. There are few. You can have people say licensed trader's degree for financial advisors, but once again, who qualifies as having expertise? Because I know financial advisors who a few years ago, they were telling people don't get into crypto. And then during the height of the bull run, they were telling people to get into crypto, right? So clearly, you know what I'm saying? And so I do think that really the expert moniker in the crypto space and also in the finance space, there's a good point. I think that a lot of people like to call people experts for as superficial reasons as somebody who will tell you, hey, I made $10 million in the last bull run. Here's my Lambo. Here's my mansion. And that makes them an expert. And that's one of the reasons why me personally, I never try to portray myself as such. Because like I said, I'm not here trying to stunt or flex. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here trying to show off. You know what I'm saying? And so you imply that I'm blaming influencers for the collapse. I'm not. I'm saying they lose credibility and are rightfully ridiculed for bringing millions of dollars off their fans' money into this disaster. It's the same reason Jim Cramer is ridiculed for not seeing the Bear Stearns collapse in 2008. No one's saying he caused the collapse, but his lack of judgment cost people money. And you know what? I will say this. Coffee brings up an excellent point. If you promote an FTX, whether you like to admit it or not, it does take a hit of your credibility. Your credibility does take a hit. If I were to talk about coins that give me a promotion, right? This is what we're talking about. Coins that sponsor me, right? Then I would be obligated to talk about coins that sponsor me, whether they do well or not. So I have a bias for that coin to do well, right? And why am I bringing this up? Because in the crypto space, we don't know, especially right now, we don't know which coins are going to survive once regulation happens or not. Now, we may have an idea, but who 100% knows, you know? And the fact of the matter is, FTX a week ago was a top 3 or top 5 crypto exchange in regards to volume and money that they were, dealing with, or that we thought they were dealing with, right? And now they're gone. FTX, you got to remember, the FTX arena was in Miami. They purchased the Miami, the naming rights in Miami. They had $7 million worth that they spend in Super Bowl commercials, right? With Larry David. FTX really looked like they were doing something, right? And it was all a smoke show. So one of the reasons, guys, you don't see me, and let me say this again, you don't see me promote cryptocurrencies. You don't see me promote exchanges or anything. And when I say promote, I'm talking about they're paying me. I have a vested interest where they're paying me to promote the project. You don't see me promote is because I know that I'm compromised. I would be compromised if I were to do that. If I were to promote a project, I would be compromised. And if the project failed, it would feel a certain type. I know people would feel a certain type of way, because I know for a fact that I felt a certain type of way. And this is one of the reasons why I heard about a YouTuber who promoted a rug pull coin, and it got rug pulled once it hit $2,000. You know what I'm saying? And to me, when you're a YouTuber, then you're promoting a coin and then it gets rug pulled literally within days, then it's kind of like you don't have a credibility then to talk about crypto, period. Right? And I'm just being honest. I mean, I remember people's reputations being ruined because they promoting rug pulls or pump and dumps, right? And by the way, the YouTuber, he rug pulled his own coin. That's what I mean. Like, you guys know there's a couple coins that I talked about in Patreon, not on YouTube, but I talked about in Patreon that got rug pulled, right? And let's be clear. I've never been paid by a crypto company. I need people to understand that, because If I get paid to promote a coin or I get paid to promote an exchange, I have a vested interest. So when you hear me talk about Shiba, nobody's paying me. Nobody's DMing me from Shiba or giving me no kickbacks. Nobody. I know people that their reputation is ruined in the crypto space because they promoted a project that they shouldn't have. Let me give you an example. Trevon James. He was, in 2017, he was that dude. He was very respected. He had a big YouTube channel, verified on Instagram. 2018, he was ducking and dodging. You couldn't find him. Now nobody cares about Trevon James. Being associated with BitConnect ruined him and Craig Grant's reputation. Now Trevon James is pushing hacks. Okay, cool. That's what he want to do, right? I'm not dissing hacks. I'm just saying Trevon James' reputation became ruined. And I understand that for me personally, that's why you're not gonna that's why I've made it a point 5 years in. And you guys remember, I used to have a bigger channel. I used to get offers all the time, especially during the bull run last year on a weekly basis, where you even had a top 100 crypto project wanted me to promote their coins. And I turned it down. I thought about it. I definitely was in talks with them, but I turned it down. Because at the end of the day, for me, my credibility is everything. And I know a lot of people say, well, you don't have much credibility in the crypto space because you're always wrong. You're always wrong, right? But you know what? I can live with that. I can live with being wrong. If I say, yo, we're going to pump in 2 weeks and my analysis is wrong on that, fine. Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to sell you anything. The only thing that I might ever try to sell you is the crypto course. And even with the crypto course, we let that is a course to educate people on how to get into crypto, the history of crypto. We're not guaranteeing that you'll make a gazillion dollars, this and that. We're basically giving a course for people, teaching them about different storage wallets, cold wallets, Tracers, Descent, Ledger. You guys know I talk about Ledger all the time. Because at the end of the day, these exchanges right now, we don't know what's what. We don't know who's who. Crypto.com is looking Yankee right now. And a lot of people are fearful. Now people are wondering what's good with Coinbase. Okay. And so basically, CoffeeZilla said that, he's down to do a debate. They can get paid millions to stand behind products, but when those products fall suddenly, they face zero accountability. And I thought to myself, why would Spencer defend these cats? And then, I saw another. So I want to say shout out to Scott Schaefer. I've been watching him for years, back when he used to be the Crypto Jedi, right? And he found this out. So I got to give him props. But Creators Agency, right? This is an agency where you have different creators. Now, who do you see here? Graham Stephan, right? He's one of the creators that was pushing the FTX thing. Who do you see here? Meet Kevin. Spencer Cornelia. What? White boy Spencer, yes. Spencer Cornelia, yes. Now, who else you see? Jack Tran, shout out to him. Andre Jiki, I don't know his name. I watch him too. Brian Young, you see all these YouTubers, right? These guys have millions of followers, right? Spencer may be the smallest on this list. Yeah, he is. And I'm like, huh. Now, this agency, basically what they do is they find sponsorship deals, right? And then you get a fee. And so this is one of the reasons why you will not see Spencer go at Graham Stephan or meet Kevin or Andre. And these guys were the biggest promoters of FTX. And I don't know if Jack Tran promoted it, but these guys had a channel called Millennial Money. And the channel mysteriously has disappeared, which I find to be shady. Let's keep it real. But now Spencer Cornelia, this is a guy that's always calling out scammers and such, right? Now he's taking a diplomatic approach. And at first, when he said, oh, we're friends, I was like, okay, I understood. But now I see they're friends. They're business friends too. Okay. So that's why Spencer, and I'm not, listen guys, and as I said before, I agree with Coffee and I agree with Spencer. Two things can be right. I see things both ways. I see it from a content creator's lens, and I see it from a viewer's lens, right? But Spencer, I do have to agree with other people that have criticized you. You are biased in this situation, right? You are clearly biased because these are your friends and business partners. So if you were to talk bad about them publicly, you could lose your sponsorship deal, buddy. You could lose your sponsorship, buddy. So we know you're never going to talk about Erica. You're never going to talk about Nate either. You're not going to talk about Jake. You're not going to talk about Brian. You're not going to talk about any of these people because they're your business partners. Go along, get along, gang. And you know what? In this situation, I get it. Y'all get money together. Hey, it is what it is. But you're compromised, dawg. Like, let's be honest, right? That doesn't mean that what you said is wrong. I mean, I'm just saying. Because I think both Coffee and Spencer's have a good point. Now, I do think that should they be held accountable? Yes, they certainly should. And I don't know what that looks like, right? Does it mean that they give the money back or they all put the money in the pot towards people who, their audience members who lost their money? I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. But my main thing is this. Those YouTubers that that have taken money from that, there's no way they could have known that FTX, they were doing that. Because this is what I want Coffee to understand is Coffee, nobody's perfect, bro. Like, and I know that you call out the scammers and this and that. I don't think these guys were scammers. I think these guys just promoted a product that had scammers behind them. The real scammers is Sam Bankman-Fried, his girlfriend at Alameda, and the cabal that were helping Sam Bankman-Fried. Those are the real scammers. The YouTubers, they were just opportunists trying to make money. Let's be honest, right? And I'm just saying to Coffee, I hope that one day, Coffee, if you were to do something that your audience didn't like, that you would find the grace to, that you would find the grace that in other positions, because I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people that can't wait for the day CoffeeZilla does something to mess up. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm not trying to speak that into existence or nothing like that. I think that sometimes, and I know Coffee mentioned here that he's not going after blaming the influencers, right? But I think that you got to understand the crypto market is still so young and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I would be shocked if a lot of these exchanges, even Coinbase, will be around within 20 years. I'll be shocked. And Binance, if they'll be around in 20 years. If they are, then I guess I'm wrong. You know? But I think that at the end of the day, should those influencers be held accountable? Yes. I don't know what that looks like. They should be held accountable. They should apologize. And this is one of the reasons why the only financial advice I ever give in crypto is get a cold storage wallet. Get a Ledger, Descent, or Trezor. Get one of those. Get your money off them exchanges, bruh. Facts. You know? Another thing is, what constitutes somebody as an expert? I think this is a conversation that we need to have too. Because a lot of people, once again, they seem to think an expert is somebody who's got a large bank account and drives a fast car. Well, we know a lot of crypto content creators that have done that, but their predictions, I remember one crypto YouTuber, and won't mention his name, he mentioned about a year and a half ago that Bitcoin would never go below 40K again. Okay? So, look, guys, people, and listen, I've been wrong a lot of times too, right? And so I think that expertise, once again, I don't consider myself an expert. And I will say that again. I consider myself a guy who is giving infotainment in the crypto space in a form that is, I bring in the real experts, right? To me, people that are licensed, like Brianna Jones, who's a CPA, who can give advice on taxes. In my opinion, that's a real expert. But just because she got the title, and no diss to Brianna, but I've learned that people that have the title, they're not necessarily always experts. And I'm not talking about Brianna, but I'm talking about, I remember 5 years ago, I was arguing with financial advisors at, you know what I'm saying, at restaurants that had no clue about cryptocurrencies. Just to fast forward later, and these people are now in cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, guys, at the end of the day, my thing is this, and also I'm going to say something that's not popular and to end the video, but the onus when it comes to your money is going to be on you. YouTubers, including myself, we can give you information, we can give you the resources, right? But nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, okay? Now, if you purchase somebody that a YouTuber's promoting, that they're being paid to promote, whether it's an exchange or cryptocurrency, then it's still your due diligence to do the research. Because if somebody were to say that FTX would have gone down a week ago, nobody would have known, or a little over a week ago, you know? Because you got to remember, even BlackRock and Kevin O'Leary, big investors, were co-signing this. And they didn't see this coming because nobody knows the future. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows the future. So it's your due diligence. And then also, I always talk about whatever you put into the markets is what you're willing to lose. You know, that's why I talk about lunch money and, you know, club money and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that this argument, this debate, I would love to see it happen. I think Coffee's an amazing guy. I think Spencer's a good guy. But, I think that right now there's a lot of things in the space that, unfortunately, the way it's looking like, regulation is definitely needed. And it won't shock me if it comes next year, right? But I think that when you look at the situation, right, and like I said, I mean, it's very easy to lose credibility in the space. Because all you have to do is just make one wrong call. Oh, you said Shiba Inu was going to pump 2 months ago. That's all you have to do is one wrong call, and the audience will turn on you. Nobody will listen to you, right? And a bull run, bull, everybody loves you. Yep, hit that call. Yep. That coin, yep. Bear market, no, not so much. Not so much, right? And so once again, let me just state, I don't have an issue with Coffee or Spencer. I think both of them are right in this situation. And I do think that influencers who are getting paid hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, they should be held accountable. But I don't know what it looks like outside of apologizing. I don't know what it looks like. That's what I'm saying, right? And I'm also saying that you, as the viewer, you are accountable as well for doing your own due diligence. Right? Because I listen, you can do your own research, yes, but it's more importantly that you understand what you're researching. You know what I'm saying? So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that, more importantly, let me just say this. For you, the viewer, it's important that you do your own research, that you do your own due diligence. Yes, I know that you're going off financial influencers and you click on their affiliated links, referral links, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you also have to do your research too. And I get it that people are saying, well, that's why I'm on your Patreon so you can do the research for me. Hey, I appreciate that. I really do. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, like I said, we're all human. Anyway, it's your boy Jones, and I'm out. Peace.